To call to put down the guns in Montgomery County. An apparent case of road rage ended with a man shot to death sitting in his car. NBC 10's Deanna Durante spoke to his family today in Pottstown.
The roads are dangerous. And I think you guys got to understand that. I'm not saying this because they're kind of dangerous. I'm not saying this because they're really dangerous. The roads are dangerous. Okay? A glance out your window, a dirty look at another driver, especially if that driver's a son, man, an offense. We just did Philadelphia, where they banned cops pulling people over for minor traffic offenses. Well, you know what happens in Philadelphia? If a son man perceives that you made a minor traffic offense, well, he'll kill you. However, the cops, and I talked to a cop, I live next door to a cop, black guy, and he told me that he has no idea who's in the car when he pulls it over. No idea. When some cars come speeding by, he doesn't know whether that's a Sunman or a Glacier Glider or a Glacier Glider woman or Ombrito or Crouching Tiger. He has no idea. He just sees the car doing something and then he pulls it over. So that notion that, well, you know, it's disparity, the disparity of people getting pulled over minor traffic offenses proves that there's some kind of racial thing going on. And this is a black cop. And he's not no conservative. He just laughs at the idea that cops are out here just looking for son. The son people are the ones doing the offenses. They're the ones with no tags. They're the ones with dead tags. They're the ones with tail light out. They're the ones switching lanes without signaling. They're the ones speeding, going 60 miles per hour in a 45 or 40 miles per hour in a 25. They're the ones speeding up and down these residential streets. Who you see speeding up and down your residential streets? Yeah, you see some gliders, but you don't know that they didn't get pulled over. Because where I'm at, of course, well, it's 90% gliders. But when I'm out and I'm driving, and you see cars pulled over all the time up here in PA, they're always white people. Always white people. Because it's a white area. But that notion that, like, cops are just like, oh, it's a white guy. I'm going to let him go. I just, oh, there's a son man, get him. Like, I can't remember the last time I've been pulled over. And yes, it was a son man because it was DC. It was probably like 6 years ago, and the guy just told me to slow down because I sped through an area where they were like doing checkpoints. They were kind of like, you know, a lot of shootings around there. And the guy was just, and I was with my wife, and he was just like, hey, man, just slow down and let me go. And then before that, I can't remember. And that was 6 years ago. And as y'all know, I'm up and down East Coast. Oh, no, that's true. I did get pulled over in Pennsylvania. Speeding. Yeah, I was speeding. I mean, I got a lead foot, but I was going like 80. And the officer let me go with a ticket. He gave me a ticket and just gave me a ticket and let me go. It wasn't like a big thing. He just pulled me over. Said, do you know how fast you were going? I said, no. He said, this. Went back to the car, wrote the ticket, came back, like, yeah, here's your ticket. And it was over. And that was a white guy. So I have been pulled over twice in like the last 6 years. But the people that I know, they're not coming to me every time. Man, I pulled over, man. Oh my God, police pulled me. And they would talk about things like that. And these are highly sunny people. You understand? I come from a sun community, Jack. The sun people where I'm from, I would put them against the sun people anywhere as far as sunniness. Even Philadelphia. Even Chicago. I would put them up against the sun people anywhere. Anywhere. East St. Louis, I come from a sun community. And that's just not the talk. Man, oh my God, this is not the talk. However, if you get into something with a sun man on the road, it could be a block, cut off, anything. The penalty could be death. And everyone knows that.
Now to a call to put down the guns in Montgomery County. An apparent case of road rage ended with a man shot to death sitting in his car. NBC 10's Deanna Durante spoke to his family today in Pottstown.
Family members say it still doesn't feel real after a 36-year-old Pottstown man was shot and killed by his neighbor.
And my fiance told me, like, Darius got shot. So I'm thinking that it's going to be all right. It was just one shot.
Breon Waller thought his brother would be okay.
I still can't believe it. Don't feel real. Like, it just feel like a dream.
Instead, he's gone.
It's too much violence. It's happening everywhere, all over the world, you know?
And, this brother's mourning, man, and my heart goes out to this brother. However, I have a job to do. In this area, Metro Philly, sun people getting killed every day. It's just sun people, man. And the gliders, they get killed by sun people. And then a few hombredos are killing each other. A few.
It's too much violence. It's happening everywhere, all over the world, you know? People get killed, like, every day.
Senseless is how friends and family describe the killing. Sunday night after 9, police say Darius Waller was driving to his friend's house on Evans Street in Pottstown. And that's when, according to court documents, Gerald Ramos was walking down an alley and told police later that Waller was speeding down the street in a red Jeep and he felt he was almost hit by the car. Ramos told police he was angry and he went home to cool down. That's when he says the same car was out front of his Evans Street home, so he grabbed his gun, went towards the car, and fired 6 to 7 times. Waller died, and Ramos confessed to his brother and sister-in-law before he returned home and remained inside.
Okay, so that was an escalation. That was a super escalation. That was a heck of an escalation. But the guy was honest. This may be an hombrito. He didn't go on a run. He confessed. This may be an hombrito who did this. However, that was an escalation. Now, just for the record, if this brother almost hit that guy, and there was like some kind of the guy gave some kind of indication that he was mad about that, oh yeah. You see the brother outside your house, in a sunny area, I could see the angst, the fear, the trepidation, because a brother will almost hit you. And I know this guy's going to be portrayed as a saint, but we don't know. This could be just a homeboy. He could have homeboy tendencies, and he could be the greatest guy in the world to his family. And when he's on the street, he could operate as he might have to as a homeboy. or as a as an element tour, But so we don't know what kind of vibes he was giving this guy. We don't know. But that was an escalation to just come out the house and just start shooting up the car.
Ramos told police he was angry and he went home to cool down. That's when he says the same car was out front of his Evans Street home, so he grabbed his gun, went towards the car, and fired 6 to 7 times. Waller died, and Ramos confessed to his brother and sister-in-law before he returned home and remained inside. That's when a SWAT team was called. Neighbors who didn't want to go on camera say homes were evacuated and others were told to shelter in place during the hours-long standoff. In the end, the SWAT team was able to arrest him, and Ramos was taken to jail without further harm to others, police say. Today, family and friends have started to celebrate the life of Darius Waller with a memorial of candles and balloons.
I love my brother dear to death. I hate to see if anything happened to somebody else like this. We need to start praying more.
In Pottstown, Deanna Durante, NBC 10 News.
Tonight, we're hearing from the family of a 36-year-old man who police say was killed over a speeding incident. Thanks for joining us at 5. I'm Shayna Humphreys.
I'm Jason Martinez, and Fox 29 has obtained video of the shooting, and we certainly want to warn you right off the top here that some viewers may find it disturbing. Kelly Rule live in Pottstown. Kelly.
Shayna and Jason, today we spoke with the younger brother and girlfriend of 36-year-old Darius Waller, both who say they still cannot believe this happened. Waller was a father of 5, talented athlete, and they say this should have ended with a conversation, not a murder. A cold, rainy night, but the love for 36-year-old Darius Waller is clear in this video from his vigil Monday night. And at the same location Tuesday, loved ones repeatedly kept showing back up.
I feel like everybody from town was out here and out of town. And so, that just shows how special he is.
Okay, so this is the girlfriend. Wow. And you know what? Let's say this guy was a dynamite guy, just a spectacular individual, handled every situation perfectly. You can be a victim of perceived, like some people know how some men are, right? In general, we're stereotyped, rightfully so. Like when I'm out and about, people are very nice. People of other groups are very nice to me. And some men are very, I would say wary or dismissive or standoffish. But people of other groups are very nice to me. And that's because they don't want to get on my bad side, because they think that I'm just like the sun man, whoever gave them whatever experience. Because where I'm at, there's a lot of guys yelling out of the cars and whatnot, and dudes yelling, like they know these white people, they think these white people are soft, right? So homeboys, when they come up here, they do a lot. Like they'll do a lot with a glider or hombrito. They'll do a lot. Cuss them from the rooter to the tutor, menace them or whatever. And so those people expect those things out of sunmen. That type of if there's a dust up or if there's just the presence. So they're very nice to you, or they're very they stay out your way, they give you 5 feet. But if you're in line and nobody knows who was next? Was you here first? They'll let you have it. Parking space, you about to pull in, you can have it. The right of way, you can have it. They just want you to go on about your way, get out of here. And I noticed that, because people have had a lot of incidents with Sun people lately that have gone bad, so that reflects on all Sun people. And that's what may have happened here, where this guy is just, this guy looks outside, sees the same guy who almost hit him outside his house. Now, probably for a good reason. Probably was just parked there because whatever. And then he's like, oh, snap, this guy's coming back to get me. And he takes proactive measures. And that may not have been the case.
Night. And at the same location Tuesday, loved ones repeatedly kept showing back up.
I feel like everybody from town was out here and out of town. And so, that just shows how special he is. Just happy I share my time with him.
It's tragic. I mean, I still can't believe it. Don't feel real. Like, it feel like a dream.
The athletic father of 5 children, 16 years old and under, was senselessly gunned down in his own Jeep on North Evans Street around 9:30 Sunday night in Pottstown, across the street from friends' houses.
The whole neighbor thing, gunned down by his neighbor, was maybe that was the information they had at the time. Maybe that was, just, kind of like, to put the pieces, tie a nice little bow on it. So it wasn't the neighbor, which makes it a lot different because your neighbor who sees you every day or every other day knows you did, it just comes out and shoots you over that. Like, that's good that it was the guy just like, he's walking down his alley, guy speeds past, almost hits him. We don't know whether there was words exchanged, looks exchanged, or whatever. He goes in the house to cool down. The same car's parked outside of his house. The guy's in it. It's not like the car's just there. The guy's in it, maybe idling or maybe waiting, rolling up, or maybe, just calling his people that I'm outside, I'm about to come in or come out or whatever. And then the guy did what he did. So the guy didn't know this guy from a can of paint. That changes a little bit of the dynamic. Doesn't make it right. But it's just not, it wasn't his neighbor. It was just a guy he had never seen before. People on edge out here, man. People on edge out here.
The Montgomery County District Attorney's Office says the suspect, 43-year-old Gerald Scott Ramos, was angry about an earlier speeding incident. Documents say Ramos told detectives he was walking home from his brother's house when a Jeep sped past him and nearly struck him, and it made him so angry he went into his apartment to try to cool down before he got his legally owned handgun and went outside. Fox 29 obtained the surveillance video that shows what the DA describes as a senseless murder of a victim that had no relationship with the defendant. We want to warn viewers may find this disturbing. Fox 29.
Wow. That was cold-blooded murder. He walked right up on that guy's car and just executed him. That was cold-blooded murder. And I know that I know some people struggle with this. Race. We don't know the difference between race and nationality. We just don't get it. It's like, I don't think we'll ever get it either. We don't understand that if someone can be a glacier glider and they can speak Spanish. We don't, I promise you, and that's not just a region or a city, that's everywhere in this country. You can pluck a Sun Man out of anywhere in this country, and he just doesn't get that this is a glacier glider. This is a glider. This is not an hombrito. This is a glider who has a Spanish surname. Okay? So this guy may avoid a lot of the backlash that a glacier glider with a regular Wolcheski or, Domhauer or whatever, regular white guy name. He may be able to skate on that. He may be able to get away with that and not have to deal with all the racial elements of this case that would normally happen because of his Spanish surname. And oh yeah, by the way, Spain is in Europe. Forget that though. I promise you they struggle with that. We struggle with that. It's just something Hit one if you notice that we don't know the difference between race, nationality, country of origin, culture. We just don't get that. If my name was Hernandez, they would be telling me that I'm an hombrito. And listen, man, they struggle with it. So normally though, this guy right here, what he did, I mean, he executed that guy. He just walked up to that car, walked around to the driver's side, and just started shooting. And just didn't run, casually walked off. This is a guy who's had more than that incident with a Sunman. This was not his first incident with a son. He's eaten a lot of poop from Sunmen over this last year and a half. And he let it out on this brother. This brother, unfortunately, got all of it. Because he didn't walk up and talk. He didn't say, hey, pal. He walked up, walked around the car to the driver's side window, and just instantly started shooting. No. Hey, bucko. What's your problem? Nothing. Just instant. And then just walk back in the house. I do think that this was racially motivated. I do think that this brother, I think he was the victim of people are terrified of something. I'm telling you, man. Other groups are terrified of something. They just are. If you live in a city, an area like Philadelphia, and you see all those murders in the city and in the counties, and you look at who it is that's doing all of the murder and getting murdered, and then you have your little incidents with brothers here or there, like brothers on the street, I'm telling you, brothers are bold now. Brothers are rude now, and then you take it all out on the wrong brother. What may be the case, or because we all look the same. Like this guy looks like any guy in Philly. Look at the beard. You don't know him. You don't know he's not a thug or a guy that's a danger to you. You don't know that. You don't know this is just a loving father of 5 with a girlfriend and whatever, great guy or whatever. You don't know that. So I definitely think this was racially motivated, without a shadow of a doubt.
The Montgomery County District Attorney's Office says the suspect, 43-year-old Gerald Scott Ramos, was angry about an earlier speeding incident. Documents say Ramos told detectives he was walking home from his brother's house when a Jeep sped past him and nearly struck him, and it made him so angry he went into his apartment to try to cool down before he got his legally owned handgun and went outside. Fox 29 obtained the surveillance video that shows what the DA describes as a senseless murder of a victim that had no relationship with the defendant. We want to warn viewers may find this disturbing. Fox 29 was there as detectives stopped by Ramos's brother's house Tuesday on the same block. Documents say Ramos admitted the shooting to his brother and said it was in order to, quote, stop the voices. Waller's brother and girlfriend tell Fox 29 if Waller just had the chance to talk it out, he probably would have apologized.
It's too much violence.
You took a town hero, like the father, somebody's kid, because you were having a bad day. That's not fair to him. He don't deserve that at all.
Now, Ramos is facing several charges, including first-degree murder. We also just heard from Waller's family in the past few minutes who said they are setting up a GoFundMe to help pay for his funeral. We will get a link to that on Fox 29 as soon as we receive that from them.
All right, Kelly Rule, thank you very much.